Girl, today drained me.
Today already drained me.
10
You know,
a.m.
I don't have earrings on. You don't even know how crazy that is.
That's stressful. My mom would have a word with you about that.
And I would have a word with myself, too.
That's true.
But you know what I have on?
The monk hat.
Because bad bitches love monk.
And we've always said that.
We need to have a conversation, though.
Yeah.
Because what is going on with Euphoria?
You know I'm tired, Hunter. You know I'm a tired woman. Imagine how tired we are of it.
Euphoria is giving money laundering. It's truly giving, like, who has a warrant out for their arrest, because this show has gone so far off the rails.
I mean, it's an entirely different show. Like, point blank. Like, it's just, like, the same actors. That's just simply how I feel. I'm like, I was excited for the wedding episode. Are you?
Yeah.
You
I'm caught up.
Okay.
Did you watch last night's?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, oof. Go ahead. Wedding episode.
And I was, like, excited to see them all in the same place again, at least, to be, like, maybe this, like, unifying factor will, like, create some more, like, fun and awe for me, and it sparked no joy.
The craziest thing about the wedding episode...
Except the dance. The dance gagged me.
I know that dance background. I know the dance got you.
Yes,
him, like, doing the thing, I was like,
and, like,
sorry.
her in a deep squat, like, I was like, this slut obsessed. Like... I'm just like, I'm not coming to your wedding. I know how you're about to act.
No, so I think the issue for me is that, first of all, this story belongs in high school. We need to get these kids back to high school. Who cares? People 30 years old are in high school every single day on television. It's called TV. Look it up. That's first.
Benny drama. Yes, thank you. Finally.
Second of all, I think that all of the stories feel so on different paths.
Yeah.
It truly is like everyone else is on a different show. What I liked about the wedding episode is that they're all together, but there really feels like there's drama between Maddie and Cassie over Nate. The shot of Maddie, like, it went on for a little bit too long, but just her at the table, like, feeling a lot of, like, grief over this version of her life that she thought she was going to live out was the most compelling moment of the entire series so far, of the season so far.
Yeah, I would
and
agree.
yet, it just, like, she just goes home after. It was so crazy. I'm like, whoa. Like, Alexi and me looks amazing.
Yeah, let's keep her in that dress.
Like, she looked sickening.
Oh my God, Alexa Demi in that dress with that little what's it called? Because you know God like that. You're on
the
good terms
rosary?
with God like that. The rosary. Yeah, the rosary above her ass crack. Diva. Oh, she got me good. Yeah. But we're always so we're not always. We are sometimes so close to something and then it's immediately like taken away.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I will say I love seeing BB come back though.
BB pregnant?
BB pregnant. BB was one of my favorite characters. I hate a vape, but I love a vape queen. But I will say that when people pointed out that she looks like Taylor Swift.
Who said that? Who said that? Who has been saying that?
I retweeted hard too. I will show you. I will literally pull it up and it's like she looks exactly in this one frame. She looks exactly like Taylor Swift. It's crazy.
Did you saw Taylor Swift on the cover of the New York Times Magazine? She always has that one fuck ass pose. Yeah, she's always like.
It's not a bad thing to know your angles. I'm not mad at it.
That's the only angle she knows.
It's okay. Have you seen Zoolander? It's hard to model, by the way.
Don't I know it? Don't I know it? This is a woman who every event we go to, she's like, oh, can I just get a solo? I love that about you. I love that about you.
She's taking notes now, too. And Hunter will watch me watch her, and I'll be like, hands back, put the hands up. And you're like, oh, sorry.
No, whenever I put my hands on, I freak out. Okay, let's get it back on track. Okay, cameos this season. We have Sharon Stone, Rosalia, Natasha Lyonne, Danielle Deadweiler, who I adore, Marshawn Lynch, and Trisha Paytas.
Wait, who's Danielle Deadweiler?
We haven't seen her yet, but she's in the season. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I want Marshawn Lynch in every fucking thing. I think he's a natural-born star.
He is.
But I will say, like, Rosalia, she can act. Why did that feel offensive the way I rolled my... No, I think it was
You have
good,
to say it in the higher...
Rosalia.
Yeah.
That was good. Click that. I'm really liking, I'm like already wanting so much more from her acting career. I mean, she's such a full-bodied performer in general, obviously. So I think it makes perfect sense to put her in this environment. The neck brace is sending me.
The neck brace is great. The neck brace is a great accessory. Also, that's going to go crazy on Halloween.
No,
truly.
Yes. Me being like, wait, is that us? And I'm like, no. It's not. Actually, not at all. But I'm really liking her in this, at the very least. I feel like Rue is a lesbian and Rosalie in this is like the fun I'm having so far.
Yeah. There is something about the gratuitous nudity and sex work in this season that just, I'm not trying to clutch pearls, but it feels a bit like nudity in place of character development in some ways. The Cassie of it all. I'm like... so happy for her with her deadbeat husband, trying to get them back in the black, like get them money, whatever. However, it is a bit like that's all she can do as a character, just like have big tits.
And like, I feel like I have so many feelings about Sydney Sweeney, and maybe that's a separate episode.
Yeah.
But like, it feels so deeply offensive to me how stupid they're playing Cassie in a way that I'm like, she wasn't that dumb. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, can we give her a little bit of grace? There's this one shot, and I know this is really specific, of her chugging champagne in a way that's like it's so. She's not a mindless baby. It's one thing to take on a persona, and I think she's smart enough to know like something is performance art versus something is like a real character trait.
Yeah.
And it's just so belittling to Sydney Sweeney, again, who's someone I don't even think that highly of, but I mean, body is tea, but it's just like her body, she's a good actress. We can say that.
Yeah.
I think like it's sad to watch her do all this.
Yeah. But I'm also like, to what end? Because what is Maddie's end game here? Like, she's trying to basically manipulate Sydney Sweeney into making both of them money, which is fine, but it also feels like a complete retread of their entire dynamic from seasons 1 and 2, basically. Also, I have to appreciate that scene of Maddie walking into the pool for their first meeting in a full mink coat. Sickening. Diva. I also, hello, if we're gonna be making the Sharon Stone and Casino reference in season 1, we need to have a scene between Maddie and Sharon Stone in season 3. Sorry, we deserved it.
At some point. I mean, I was gonna say something that's pissed me off is I haven't seen a contract come out yet. So you know my Virgo rising ass is getting a little strict with it. I'm like, Maddie, you gonna get played with again, because if Cassie's gonna be the face of it, I need to see a pen to paper, I need a signature come out. Because I feel like if you're gonna at least milk her for this 10% or get your like lick back or whatever you're gonna do, it needs to be legally binding. Yeah. And Maddie's a smart cookie, so I think I'm just like waiting for her to figure that out. Yeah. Another scene in the most recent episode that was like, was Jules painting for the TV show. Yeah. And like drawing a bunch of like trans figures, which like, I will say, like, objectively, like, doesn't make any sense for the TV shows.
I thought the painting was beautiful, but I am like, girl, this is network TV. Like,
turn it on a little bit. Just, God
how's this gonna work? Yeah. Like,
how's this gonna work? Yeah. And it felt like it was trying to do some, like, woke, radical commentary when they were like, she's trans. And I was like, what? Like, it's totally normal to give feedback to be like, so we actually can't have like phallic symbols like in this painting that's for Netflix.
But
like,
also the one part where they're like, okay, so you have to take out the penises. And she's like, what about the breasts? And they're like, well, yeah, those too.
It's equal opportunity. No,
it's like, so actually just no nudity. Yeah. Overarching note, no nudity.
Which is a normal note. And it's like, and then she throws the red paint on it. It's just kind of like, wait, where? Like, can someone have a lick of sense? If Rue has the most sense on this show, then where are we?
Yeah, yeah. But I think overall for me, Euphoria has been, I really like the Maddie, Cassie, Nate love triangle season 2. I think that was very impressive. But it really has always been like more visually arresting than it is like writer character arresting. Yeah. And even the visuals this season feel kind of phoned in. It's like these like big, expansive, big shots, like very Western. Yeah. But that's it. It just looks like expensive, but not necessarily anything
like artistic,
internal happening inside the frame.
I agree. Sam Levinson, make a music video. That's it. Just let your freak flag fly in 3 minutes or less.
Well, speaking of, so Z used to really ride for Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, we all saw Malcolm and Marie. I was there on the front lines. Not many were.
I said,
and I was alone in that.
I'll see you on the other side.
But literally at the premiere, Zendaya was running from Sam Levinson. Truly, like it was Beyonce seeing Jason Lee, that blogger that Rihanna loves. She was like just looking for anywhere else to go, just anyone, please.
Call from God. Yeah.
And I mean,
that was tough.
If he wrote me this season, I'd be like, you take that back and work on it again. Because I don't want to read any more of these damn pages. Because what do you mean I just keep driving around the whole season?
I will say, and it sucks because I just really love Zendaya as Rue. I think it's like the first time I really see her embody a character that is fully hers and feels totally separate. Then like I'm not seeing Zendaya Coleman at all. And it's so impressive what she's able to do with that character. And it's such a disservice to her that she is still in this season doing like whatever what is she doing right now? She's the DEA?
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, I did really love the scene where the DEA calls her and they're like, you've just been compromised. You need to discredit that girl. And she, like, her and Rosalia going at it together, that was like, oh, this is like why Zendaya is the best actor on this show. But then it's like, then something dumb as hell, like Nate getting his toe cut off and then saying the next episode totally, it's like sewn back on.
Maybe he has good insurance.
He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a job. I have to say, moment of silence for Eric Dane. I seeing him, I was like surprisingly emotional.
Oh, of course.
Like surprisingly only because, you know, I don't cry that much.
I know.
Yeah.
I try to get it. It doesn't work.
It just hurt my feelings.
That was one time. That's hilarious. Okay, sorry. Keep going. Eric Dane, yes.
It's so like sad to see him on screen
but it's so nice to see him on screen too.
Yeah. And I like that they wrote in like, because I think he went to St. Lebanon's and said like, I'm slurring my words now because of ALS. So now they made him an alcoholic, and seeing him in the show is I like it.
How do you feel about seeing Fez in the show?
It's okay.
It feels odd to me for some reason. I can't pinpoint why, so it's not like, you know, I'm not dying on this hill, but for some reason I'm kind of like, I think it's okay to like let him rest and not, I don't know how much he needs to be so constantly integrated.
I wish that it was more just that one call of Zendaya talking to him and like that moment of like, oh my gosh, like fantasy that he's still with us.
Yeah.
That I thought was very sweet. But then, you know, all of the Lexi stuff, like even talking about him, I'm like, kind of like, Lexi is a girl who wears two patterns at once. She's not thinking about her high school boo. She loves
Lisa Says Ga. You know what I mean?
She does. She does. If it has plaid, she'll pair it with a different plaid. She will do that. She will do that.
I was like, okay, we have to start at a low so we can end at a high because we have so many great things to talk about, including summer house updates. Y'all about to be sick of us. Or you're welcome. I don't know. Either one. And then what else are we talking about? What's our... Oh, my God. Famesick. Lena Dunham's Famesick. Lena Dunham at large. Our meeting of Lena Dunham. Or you might have met her before, actually.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Just in the DMs.
So herstory. Herstory happening. Herstory coming later in this episode.
Are you looking for a safe space for your secret celebrity opinion?
Do you need someone who understands your latest internet obsession?
We're decade-long best friends who connect over fussing
and discussing
all things pop culture.
We're your first stop after that TMZ push alert. From Higher Ground Audio, I'm Peyton Dix.
And I'm Hunter Harris.
And this is Let Me Say This.
Let me say this.
Let me say this.
It's a jungle out there, let me say that.
Oh, my Lord. Keep that in too.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Summertime. Summertime. Summer house drama. Ooh.
Sorry.
Love it. Totally. Absolutely. No, and keep that energy. Actually keep that energy.
I will.
Summer house drama. I cannot believe that we have gone from being summer house illiterate to summer house evangelists.
Girl, the way I would fall on a cross for only a few of them.
I was going to say, yeah, for who? For who?
Sierra, Mia, and now Lindsay.
Mother Hubbard.
With Lindsay.
I mean, because Lindsay's rocking with us.
And say that.
Okay, we need to talk about the leaked audio. We need to talk about what's going on in real life. We need to talk about what's going on in like Showtime, because I was actually like, it unsettled my spirit to watch the show and West and Sierra making up, knowing what we know now. Let's start with the leaked audio.
Yes.
I want to say Mia graduated into Hall of Fame Bravo star, like for a first season performance for me, when she told Amanda in the leaked audio, you went from being married to being one of West Side bitches. That's crazy.
It's a beautiful line reading.
True. It's up there with like Real Housewives of Atlanta, like season 4, 5, 6. Like,
so it's canon now.
That really shook the table for me. If that's not in the final edit,
yeah,
I'm calling Bravo and I'm calling NBC Universal.
It's a perfect pickup on Paige too, who like, I love a girl that really doesn't play about her bitches in a real way. Amanda doesn't play about her bitches in a very fake way, clearly, obviously. But yeah, we needed that energy. We needed that heat.
I also want to talk about, there's, in one of the leaked audios, Amanda says, I was terrified to admit the truth to Sierra because I knew that no matter what, this was going to be a friendship deal breaker for us. And that scared the shit out of me because I had already crossed the line. So a few things I want to discuss here.
Same.
She was terrified because she knew it was a deal breaker, not because it was going to hurt her friend, but because she knew it was like going to go scorched earth. And then she was already scared to do that because she'd already done it. She'd already hooked up with Wes. She'd already started their relationship. And I just cannot believe, and Sierra says this in one of the audios, like, out of the millions of men in New York City, you chose the one man that you knew our breakup had fucked me up. And I know that people are like, oh, they were just a situationship. Oh, they were only together for 2 months. But
have you ever heard a Taylor Swift song? I was like, those are the worst ones, by the way. The 3 to 6 month shit, that'll fuck you sideways. I'll tell you that. Peyton, Hunter's like, not now. We've already gone through that.
No, it's okay. Like, and some of us have survived 3 month situationships that should have sent us to the mental ward.
And I did. I was wearing my grippy socks.
You jumping.
Okay, go, keep going.
But I really do empathize with Sierra because it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we were together for 5 years or for 5 days.
Yeah.
If I tell you this person truly hurt me and I can't forgive that.
And I think something that was also crazy about it was she was like, you can't help it. And she was like, you literally can't.
But
like,
you know what that was a reference to? It was a reference to Sierra talking about dating white boys. How, like, you can't, I know, which I did not even clock that until I saw it on Reddit. People were, because then even on the transcript, she's like, well, you said that, not according to you. You said that on an episode. That she was like, you can't, I don't, maybe it's not specifically white boys, but just like who she has dated on the show.
Which is so incredibly different from like your best friends who you've like held cry over a person.
Yep.
To
cried with Sierra over West.
Being like, that episode of her being like, I see you and you don't deserve that. I was like, you're nasty.
No,
that is really nasty bitch behavior.
Evil, dark-sided, down in the gutter.
No, that's a gutter girl.
Gutter girl.
That's a gutter girl
down.
striking out. I'm trying to make a bowling reference. It may not work. It might not land. Bowling, gutter, bowling. Gutter girl, bowling. Strike.
And when I wanted to go bowling the other night, you said, you called me country.
And I didn't lie. And that's okay. But it's really nasty behavior in a way that I would never. I mean, like, yeah, Wes, I mean, bar is always on the floor for men in general.
Yeah.
IMO.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, the proximity of their relationship, especially in this season where now that Paige is out, like, they're kind of like, I mean, Lindsay a little bit, but Lindsay's a mom, so she's a bit more busy. But I do think, like, the closeness of their relationship, it is so haunting to be watching them in real time now and, like, knowing that they're not only... It's one thing to physically be with someone, but to like emotionally be like, that's my boyfriend now. Like they're like allegedly, she had said to a fan, I guess, that she was like, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend when someone asked who he was to her. And I am like, and then Lindsay did an interview with Andy Cohen, I think, for Watch What Happened to Him. Yeah, that was like, you know, physically maybe it started in February, but it definitely emotionally started before that. And I just feel, I personally am like, oh, it's so much worse. Like it's again, it's horrible, but it's still one thing to like physically like have sex, hook up, whatever. But to be like, oh, like I'm developing feelings for this person, I'm pursuing them and acting on them when you actually have the choice to like treat your friend better and choose differently is
or
sick and
even
nasty.
To like apologize to her, like be more respectful in how you're rolling it out. Because that's another thing Sierra said. Why are you breadcrumbing this on Instagram? Like, why were you hanging out together, whatever? Even Jesse Solomon on Watch What Happens Live was like, we went to a brunch all together, and then just after that, West and Amanda went to their own secret brunch. What are you talking about, secret brunch? What? It's not 2014. Oh my God.
I love that every single other member involved in this, like, you know, normally people will be like, you know, like, I'm not going to weigh in. Everyone's like, oh, and another thing. Like,
well, because, and I know, listen, I think that like in general with cheating stuff, sometimes we're a little bit too like puritanical in how we address it. However, I think that everyone in the house is owed an apology because they have lied to every single person in the house and they've jeopardized and hurt multiple friends and multiple friendships in the house. Because it's not just Amanda and Sierra, it's also Kyle and Wes had a friendship. And Kyle is Princess Diana to me.
That's an insane thing to say on the record.
It's really not. I think that he gets a bat. There were three people in that marriage. Okay? Kyle, Amanda, and Amanda's delusion. So that's a mic drop. Okay, let's go to what's happening on the series right now. Because I was sick to my stomach. The moment you said about Amanda telling Sierra, I see you, was after West hooked up with a girl, was making out with a girl, literally right next to Sierra. Like closer than we are at this table.
She was on his lap.
It was, and then him being like, you know, fuck it, whatever. And I just want to bring this all back to eventually when West and Sierra had their kind of reunion at the boat dock. He said, he literally told her, I resented you for the way that the fans treated me after our split. And if I'm Amanda, watching present day, I would jump in front of traffic. Yeah. However, the second thing I would do is think about if West presents Sierra for how the fans treated him after their whole thing, how do you think he's going to present you after you've brought all of this drama into your relationship? How is that going to happen? And you're a side bitch, just to be a side bitch. Ugh.
Him seeing other people at the same time is clinically insane. Not of him. I mean, it is because he's a man. But like her to be like, fuck it. Like, what's that SZA song?
The Weekend?
Yeah, you like 9 to 5. I'm the Weekend. Yeah, turn it up, bitch. Okay, that's your song. That's your track. That is crazy to me. I will say where we are, I've
in
obviously
real life?
fallen, yeah. Where I've fallen into Summer House, obviously because of this drama, but I am staying for everything else. I'm still having so much fun with this show. Like, I didn't realize I would like it so much. And I think, like, I've come around to Lindsay. Do
you like Carl now?
I like Carl,
Carl's
but
a
he needs to
sweetie.
get up. You know what I mean? Like, if we're still having the same, like, there's a flashback to him being like, oh, give me the ick. He goes, he's very like, where my hug at? I hate a boy who's asking for his hug. Just disgusting. I mean, that's a thing in general for me. I'm like, don't touch me. But him being like, can I get a hug?
You know how I feel. Whenever you're all touchy-feely.
But that's friendship. I'm not trying to clink, Hunter. He's trying to clink Lindsay. And he's like, where's my hug? And then he goes, harder. I'm going to be sick to my stomach, fam. No, I hated that. It made me the ick. The soft bar is going to close soon. It's not a lucrative idea, but I stand with him, obviously, and his sobriety.
I will patronize soft bar because I'll pay $12 for some juice. I don't care.
You've done it before. If they got lemonade, she going to be buying it.
I love a lemonade.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
lemonade, it heals me. It heals me. It heals me.
I will say I really, really love the new cast members.
Yeah.
I love Mia. I'm so taken with her. She's so fun.
Same.
She's such a good voice of reason. Who else? What's the other? KJ, I struggle with, but
KJ, it's just, he's so online. I like him a lot on the show. However, on the internet, he posts on Threads. I don't know if you've seen this. No. Like he's a high school athlete whose job it is to post. It's always like these like random non sequiturs or
Threads.
like
He's probably getting paid to post.
They don't pay me enough. That's why I haven't posted. That's why I have not threaded in my life. Phantom thread even. But threads. I want to go back to Carl for a second because the scene between Lindsay and Carl's mom.
Yes,
now,
Carl's mom.
Listen, I like Carl a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's very sweet. Now his mother.
No, she's a little something different.
She was doing too much. I'm like, what do you mean? Lindsay doesn't owe you anything. She dated your son. They broke up.
Yeah.
Really, he broke up with her on camera. So if there's an agreed party here, it's kind of her. But what do you mean you feel like you're owed a hug, you feel like you're owed a confrontation, whatever. You guys are not close. Yeah. And you never were.
She's just trying to be on the show. And I get that. I respect that in a woman.
It's crazy for
She's
a mother.
I know, isn't that crazy for a mother? Cut to me as a mom, and for a couple of years, I'm like, and another thing, sister. I think it's definitely like she just wants her screen time.
She's a boy mom down.
Yeah,
boy mom boobs.
God, I hate a boy
She's
mom.
so a boy mom.
But yeah, she does not sit well with me. You know who I didn't sit well with me at first, and now I'm like fucking obsessed with her. Who? Sabrina, the Australian's girlfriend.
Oh.
You know the like braless witchy one. Like she's the kind of girl you hate.
I don't get down with all that witchy stuff.
Your aura is like, I'm totally sensing something like epic on you. Like a lot of green maybe. Like she is, I like that shit. A little woo woo. A little woo woo.
She doesn't feel additive to me.
She's definitely not, but I like that vibe.
Dara, KJ really,
Which one is that?
KJ's girlfriend. Dara. He really goes to the mat for her, and I'm kind of like,
why?
Whatever. All of these relationships between Ben and KJ feel so like
forced?
0 to 100 so quickly.
Well, I mean, they even say that on the show. Ben is the Australian one, right?
Yeah.
Where like you were being single all summer, you were like ready to like party, and then this girl kind of comes back up out of nowhere,
and then you're taking her home. But I do think there is something between how Amanda was with Ben talking about, you wanted to sleep with me in Italy, like we went sandy dipping, whatever. She's just looking for a place to land. Like that is male centeredness to its core. Ugh.
She has it all over her. You like that goofy girl?
Which goofy girl?
That new goofy girl?
Bailey or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fine. Is she the one who's like kind of talking to Carl?
Yeah.
Totally.
So you ride with her. She
Totally.
says someone gotta
Whatever,
talk to Carl.
totally.
Somebody got to give him a little love. Oh, Lord. Sorry. Someone needs to give him his hug. Harder. Oh, okay. What else?
I got to bring us down.
Bring us down.
R.I.P.
To
to
who?
West's grandmother.
And a moment of silence. Sorry
Yes.
that I laughed before the moment of silence.
Yeah.
Hope she's well. Well, she's
Well,
not.
she's not.
I'm
Looked
sorry.
at both of my cameras for that one. No. Okay, so I'll tell you what I read last night.
Yeah.
Wes, this sounds so crazy, but this is the latest reporting that Wes' grandmother was murdered by his cousin over not doing chores. His cousin was living with his grandmother. They got into a fight because she said he didn't do enough chores. And then, swear to God, allegedly, he shot her in the face. Yeah.
In the face?
Yeah. And he's now been arrested. And this all happened, I think the timeline is that it happened the
fucking
morning
nasty.
of the reunion. So who knows if Wes knew that going into the reunion taping.
Oh my God.
I know,
Not even like the
really-
kneecap, like
No.
the face?
Yeah.
Square in the nose is insane.
Well, like,
But you know men hate doing dishes like that. Like,
I
it
know,
gets like
but
that.
also, girl,
that's insane.
that's crazy. Now, Wes has not spoken out about this yet. There hasn't been a statement about it.
Maybe that's good.
No, I think that's for
that's
the best.
right. Yeah.
Given how the statement with Amanda went, I think it's for the best.
No more statements from either of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Quiet as
no.
kept. Quiet on the Western Front. But I will say something that was really funny. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Where were you going to go?
Say the funny. What could be funny?
Oh, no, it's not about grandma. I was going to say, they have this show called like In the City or something like that.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
some spinoff or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just cracking up because all the comments are like, we're boycotting until you cut Amanda out of this show. And I'm like, so this is where the internet loses me.
Well, no, so that's she's the drama. Like if all of this show was just everyone turning their backs on Amanda and just bullying her all season, I'd watch every episode. Appointment
yeah.
television.
But I'm like, everything is normal until it's not on the internet. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's obviously like fuck West and fuck Amanda, but
Yeah.
it's also so crazy to be like spam comments about like boycotting.
Well, that's what I mean. Everyone being like, she should be fired or whatever. And it's like,
That's not how this works.
no. Sorry, this is reality TV. This is the drama that kind of makes the world
You
go
know,
around.
I feel like people are acting like the way we acted when Tiger Woods cheated.
Well,
Where it was like,
they had alarms
kill him.
nonstop. They had like helicopters flying around looking for him. Like I did see a tweet yesterday that was like every 2 years Tiger Woods either wins the Masters or like gets into a car wreck and dies.
Oh God.
And it's not true. Although
It's not untrue.
him being like I'm on the phone with Trump was crazy.
After he got
skinful.
arrested? After he got arrested?
Yeah.
For the, oh, God.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, not defending him, obviously, and not defending Amanda or Wes either, but I just like the symmetry is astounding.
Well, I'm not defending anyone in this. However, I do think Wes nudes leaking.
Well, I hate that.
That's where we're doing too much.
Yeah.
That's where it feels like that's actually really invasive, also illegal, and also doesn't have anything to do with this drama.
Absolutely, Bren. I feel like that's a thing that, like, I mean, a clearer line, but like the comments is one thing. Revenge porn is always a totally different one.
Yeah.
It's so inappropriate. It's so heinous. It's such a nasty response to what's going on. And I feel like, I mean, I don't know who leaked them. I haven't seen them. Have you seen
I saw them.
1 to 10? It's like, and that's why it's not okay. And that's we just acted out a scene of what you should never do when faced with nudes leaking.
They simply just saw them on Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. Oh, Twitter's kind of nasty like that. I forgot.
One more thing about West, though.
Yeah.
His dad.
And you brought this to my attention before.
West's dad. Sexy. Sorry.
Him falling into that split at that wedding, like, okay, like father, like son, why can they both hit a split? That's crazy.
Can West hit a split?
He hit a split a few times, in fact, in a way where I was like, stretch, my brother. Your dad don't need stretch. He was off book. Dad was off book. Ha, ha. West, different story. But if we're admitting some truths at the moment, bro, there's a gun somewhere in here, but why was I listening? Why was I streaming Jesse Solomon's music? Ah! And why is it kind of good? I was like, not too much.
Well, let me say this. I am a bit of a Jesse Solomon defender.
I know you are. He's low-key your type.
No, he literally is. Wait, when you were watching the show and you were like, oh, this big old grin, I know you like his ass.
Lord.
I was like, I do. Yeah. Guess what? I do. That's so funny. I was at dinner with some friends a couple weeks ago and I was like, oh, like, okay, like girls, let's talk about Summer House.
Yeah.
And the boys at the dinner were like, wait, now hold on. Now it's not just for girls. Like I'm Jesse Solomon's #1 streamer on Spotify. Truly,
when he's in my Spotify Wrapped, then you know it's tea.
His music is very like Michael Bublé.
Yeah, kind of folky a little bit. He's definitely like the pen doesn't go crazy, but like he has a really nice tonality to his voice. And I remember it when he sang his first. What would Jesse Solomon do?
Is that I haven't listened to the music? Is that the real song?
No, it's one he sings on the show. And it's like a full track. Like there's a bridge. Like in front of everyone. It's crazy. It was like his first season. And everyone's like wasted singing along like, yes! Like,
wait, I thought that was like truly a joke track.
Nope, it's on Spotify.
Well, I know what I'll be doing tonight. I like Jesse Solomon, except for when he asked Wes for permission to kiss Sierra. That I hated.
I hated how that went down, even though I felt like I understood because he did the right thing, which is like if you're gonna mess with your friends like ex, I think it's great to at least ask.
I just think he's probably dumb. Like
well,
I think he was well intentioned, but it just came out in a bad way.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to listen to Kyle DJing sometime soon in the near future.
We should go. We go to Soft Bar to pregame.
Yes.
Softly. And then we take a shot, Loki, at a different bar. And then we go to see Kyle on his 1s and 2s. Playing that wait. West diss track.
Okay, last question. What do you want out of the reunion?
A fist fight. I want the girls to tussle. And I want Sierra to... You know I like when girls fight. I'm like problematic like that.
Country.
What do you want?
I want that one scene of Mia. I will stand at
4K.
attention and salute when she says, you left your marriage to be one of West Side bitches. That's crazy.
You know what you're going to be? You're going to be like the Eagles lesbian fan that's like, let's go. That's you when Mia clears her ass. That is literally you. I can't wait. I'll film it. I'll post it. Oh my God. Just as a bit, love or hate her, Lena Dunham. And then let's react in the same time, you know? Oh, you don't want to stand her like that? Because they killed me in the comments?
No.
Like, you saw them. Choke. I got
Listen.
We're going to start.
I'll say, okay. Go ahead.
Well, I'm scared now.
I'm a lover of Lena Dunham. I love her. That's my mother. And you can tweet until you get blue in the face. I don't care. She can have whatever she wants.
She's a full plate at our table. Come on out, Lena Dunham. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm a mess.
Here we go. Okay,
no, let's get in it.
This is the thing about Lena Dunham that most people don't understand. Pan goes crazy every single time.
Every single time.
Except for Sharp Stick. Other than that, Pan goes crazy every single time. Good for you. I think that truly she is one of one in every way possible. And also like the stuff that she has lived through. She's like been a woman on the internet at the exact wrong time to be a woman on the internet ever.
Yes.
Like the constant kind of Gawker, Jezebel, Cut, Vulture, Think Piece era, BuzzFeed, Business Insider, whatever. All of that. Plus being in Brooklyn, First Lady of Brooklyn, plus making a really incredible TV show that had no diversity, and then they brought in Republican Childish Gambino, and that didn't work.
Republican Childish Gambino was insane.
But you are telling me that I'm supposed to hate the woman who put Marnie singing Stronger and Adam Driver dancing to Valentine by Fiona Apple. I'm supposed to hate her? She put them in the same episode. I'm supposed to hate that?
And you're supposed to hate someone who had the line, "Did you leave in a rush?" That's an auteur.
One man's trash, anyone?
Oh, wait, which one was that episode?
That was the
Season
Patrick
5?
Wilson episode.
Oh, that one and the Marnie episode, obviously.
Oh, Panic at Needle Park.
Of course.
Or
Panic at
Central Park. Yeah. That was a real title.
When I say we have to come clean about something, we hate to brag, but this is just the truth.
That's the most LA thing I've ever heard. I hate to brag, but it's just the truth. Okay, go on.
Life. What would you say? We met Lena Dunham at Gloria Steinem's house. Like, and
you said that like that's our drag normally. Like that we just like go to Gloria Steinem's house all the time.
No, I said it like it gooped me, it gagged me to be like, wait, what are we doing in her home? Like, we should have to pay a fee or something. But and the funny thing is, when we arrived at the event a little bit late, they were like, does anyone want to sit in the front? Oh, girl, I grabbed my purse. Hunter, I said, let's go.
Literally charged in the front. One thing about Peyton, she loves to take a seat. She loves to pop a squat. If there's even a halfway bench like surface,
don't bring it up.
She's gonna sit.
Tired.
She's gonna sit. She's gonna take a sit.
I grabbed Hunter's little wrist. I said, we sit into the front. I said, Rosa. We sit right in the front because I was like, this is a woman that raised us. Like, she went through the trenches, as you said, so that we could fly now. She walks so we could run a little bit.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah. What is
it? A little less of a heinous time to be a woman online. But it was a talkback for Famesick, her new book. And it just, you know how sometimes a talkback could be like, okay, like you are just wanting to hear the sound of your own voice. I felt so involved in the conversation. I felt so invited in. It felt so just like warm and honest. And I feel like this, I'm only like 300 pages in right now, but I think like I've already taken so much away of like, it's like doing the artist's way. I've like released so much shame while reading it. I'm not even joking. I'm literally like, I feel like to be in a body, especially as a woman, is a baseline of prison. And then like really grappling with like what it's like, how we treat sick people, especially chronically ill people.
Yeah.
And I think doing like a public, like being real for like doing like a public facing job is really hard. And it's so easy to constantly think about what other people think of you.
Yeah.
And to watch her approaching 40 with what seems like, I don't want to say grace because that feels like it like pedestals her in this way, but it's just like honesty. Like just being like, this is exactly what I am and who I am, and it's beautiful.
No, speaking of that sort of reflection, one of the parts of the talkback that I really resonated with the most was her saying, looking back, I don't think I was like ready for public consumption. Like growing up, like among artists as a city kid, things that felt provocative to other people did not feel provocative in her house growing up. And that she always wanted to be, you know, like center of attention, like hanging out with adults, like being around older people. And all of those qualities, which made her such a good writer, also made her like truly not aware of how things would come across to people who didn't grow up the way she grew up. Like if you grew up in the suburbs, had like a conventional upbringing, she would be pretty shocking, like not wearing pants ever. And all of those things, I thought like that's you have to reach a real place of like self-awareness to see that, and also to not take that with a lot of blame, guilt, and shame that I just grew up in a different way, and things that are normal to me are not normal to other people, and I was unequipped at that time in my life when you're like 24. And that's another part of the book that I really love is like, I wish it had gone more, and I would love to ask her about this, like how she thought about how much of girls to talk about in the book versus, because it does kind of move pretty quickly through the seasons, but the most time on the, like talking about the show is spent on like the pre-production, whenever she was like casting Jemima, whenever she was like writing the scripts herself. And that stuff was really moving because it's like, oh, none of this happens overnight. And for someone who has seemed like such an overnight success, it really, that moment of her and Judd and Ginny Connor working on this show, they didn't know there was going to be, they just wanted to make it together, was very special to read about.
Yeah, and I think also something that this was like in some, I think it was Las Costa Ricas, where she was talking about how like she wrote her first book in like 8 months and then wrote this in 8 years. And it really, just being reminded of the value of like taking your time with a thing, where like we're only taught to like overconsume and overproduce, and most of it's half-baked, and like, which is why we're probably always seeped in regret of like a thing that we didn't really fully sit with.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see like this version of her.
Yeah.
I think something that really struck a chord with me was not just in the book, her health issues, which like felt so difficult to read, and like as an empathetic person or a person with a heart and a brain.
Yeah.
But when in that talkback, when she was like, you know, people want to shame everyone for self-diagnosing on TikTok, but it's because we just aren't afforded the tools. And this is a person with money and privilege and is still not knowing what's going on in her body. And it reminded me of this one time. I have now been diagnosed twice with pretty severe ADHD. Hunter's like, I've known since fucking college, bitch. You could never tell a story straight. But she's like, I could have written that for you. But I remember the first time I talked to a doctor, he was like, oh, well, you graduated college, and you live in New York on your own, so I don't think you have ADHD, verbatim. And then was like, you know what, I don't think you need Adderall. I think you need to be on birth control. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, you said you weren't on birth control? I was like, no. And he was like, well, why? I'm like, well, I'm gay. And he was like, you still need to be on birth control. And I was like, I'm going to close my laptop now. But that's like a very normal experience for a lot of young women. And that's like so small scale compared to like everything that she went through. And I don't know, it just made me really think about like how little we think about chronic illness and like how much we're taught to like push through.
Especially in women. Like how illnesses show up in women is under-researched, underdiagnosed.
Yeah.
I have adult onset ADHD, self-diagnosed. However, in my self-diagnosis, I did do a lot of research into how a lot of girls are not diagnosed with ADHD until they become adults, because in boys, it's like, oh, well, his grades are bad, or it looks like this in boys. But women are just naturally trained to be high achieving and to be so, accommodating that I
like
could go
endure.
on.
And I only found out because all my friends who are women of a certain age were then getting diagnosed later in life. And that's very similar to the email that she got. Was it an email or a letter?
Yeah, it was an email from a woman who has like, I've read everything you've written on Lenny Letter about your illness. I've seen everything that you've written on Instagram about your illness. And I think that you have this very rare connective tissue disease. Yeah. And it matched every single one of her symptoms. And then I think another very important moment in the book is after the hysterectomy that she gets at 31, elective hysterectomy, Jenny, her writing partner at the time, calls her mom and is like, okay, great. So like now she's healed. Yeah. And her mom is on the phone like, no, this is only the beginning. Yeah. Like now we have a diagnosis. That's the first step in, how to live in this body, in this life. Yeah. And that was like a real moment of that really shook the table for me. I thought that was really beautiful.
Yeah. Speaking of her mother, her mom and her dad in this book, her dad kind of reminds me of you, where you're like, all right, that's enough. Like, let's be strict with it, but also like it's so like a fierce protection too, and it's so lovely to watch or hear about the way that she had been parented. Yeah, which is, I think she says a lot, is such a rarity. Yeah, to like really have parents that like are real with you, but also ride for you in a very serious way, and like will always be behind you. It's really nice.
And one of the, I think, more unexpected parts in the book that I really, really loved was her writing about how her parents, how they like, sort of had to reorient their lives around her fame and her art, and how they'd always been the artist, and her mother's work is so important to her mother, and yet now she's just Lena Dunham's mom. Yeah, yeah. And I thought, wow, as a woman, that must be, for some people, and Gloria Steinem said this, like she felt like she was living through her mother's like wishes, totally, as a writer and reporter, because her mom didn't work. Whereas Lena, on the other side of the room, it's like, no, you actually have lived your own dream because your mother lived her dream, and yet you've eclipsed her in some ways, and that's just a totally different experience, and like also really beautiful.
I feel like we've probably talked about this before, but like, what girl are you? And you can make it complicated if you want. You can do like sun, moon, rising.
I'm not going to make it complicated because you know what?
You posted about Leos on your close friends. I said she's getting into it.
I didn't realize it was an AI video. I feel so stupid now.
Just like my dad. Oh my God.
Okay. No, I'm like every old person. I like got taken in my AI video. But it did say that Leos have a warm heart but a long memory. And that is true.
You can pull up those files, girl.
If it happened to me, I didn't, and it happened to you, I didn't forget it either.
That's true, actually. If you mess with me once, Hunter will never forget it.
I will.
Never.
You can't tell me everything because I'm going to keep a grudge.
She play with me, but she don't play about me. I'll tell you that. Okay, what girl are you?
I think I'm a Shoshana. I think I used to be a Marnie, but I think I'm way more of a Shoshana. Because the Marnie singing career, that's like too delusional. I'm way more Shoshana where I'm like, we're going to make it happen.
We're going to be a little grounded in reality. What if we don't? Yeah. But yeah, I think that's you, and you have sense. Yeah. But like also like when you want to crack it open, pure heart. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh my God. Which girl are you?
Jessa Rising, of course.
Oh, here we go. This is how I know you're making it complicated. Yeah. Okay.
I'm a Jessa Rising. I would say I'm a Marnie's son. Maybe Shosh Moon.
I said all of that.
Maybe Hannah Moon.
Yeah, probably.
Hannah Moon.
I said all of that. And you know which girl I am? I am Andrew Rannells.
Yes, you are. And your dad is gay. You are so. What's his name in the show?
Oh shoot!
Oh my god, I remember.
Elijah.
Yeah.
When he shows up to lunch wearing the scarf and saying he's gay, and Hannah is in disbelief. She's like,
that little scarf.
He's like,
doesn't
is this
help.
about a scarf? No, the scarf doesn't help anything.
That scene is so
Wait, okay,
good.
top scenes and girls.
Okay, top scenes.
It's gonna be Elijah. Hello, Elijah's introduction. It's gonna also be Did You Leave in a Rush?
Did you leave in a rush?
That's the only thing that
Fuck
Amy Schumer has ever done that I will ever appreciate.
Perfect line reading.
And then it's gonna be the beach house dance scene at the end of when they're like all doing it together.
Yeah.
But I also really, really love when Hannah is talking to Shoj and she's like, well, I'd say you're a little unstimulating. And Jess is like, no, I've seen her read the New York Times in paper.
Maybe I am more of a Jessa than I think. Like, okay, piggyback on that. It's not the dance scene, but it is when Shosh is crashing out. I love when a beautiful woman breaks. Yes. You know what I mean?
Oh, I also have to say in that episode when Elijah's like, those carrots are very thinly sliced. Okay. And Marnie's like, they're julienne. That's what it means to julienne something. If that, that's
like,
me.
Yeah. And also it's like so Hunter to be like so pissed about like, just invite him over to dinner. We have like one fish.
No,
like,
truly.
Okay, top 3 moments in Girls. Piggybacking off of that. When my favorite episode of TV, maybe all time, which is Panic in Central Park, was the part where they're getting robbed, and she was like, "I didn't even know people got robbed anymore." So me.
That is like, literally so you.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What the hell? Like, love her. Perfect episode. And then, I mean, I'm such a Marnie. I might be stronger.
Yeah.
I can be your white Kate Moss tonight.
Just the whole the true rearrangement of the song for her to sing it is like,
in that dress
you
too.
Thought about this.
That's a star to me.
I also have to say,
and that music video she made actually. I still watch it.
So that's crazy. But speaking of, sleeping with your friend's boyfriend, Amanda and Sierra, I don't like this episode. I don't like this relationship, but I do like when Jessa dates Adam and they have that big fight that Hannah overhears. And Jessa says, we could die in the same bed and I would never forgive you for like distancing me from my best friend. Yeah. That was like, wow.
And even just the shot just of when he's doing that play and they're across the way from each other. And I have that exact outfit, which does not bode well for me, unfortunately. I have that just a cheating outfit. I walk around in that, people are like, oh, she's about to ruin a friendship. Uh-oh.
Also a very good Taylor Swift song. Well,
we could talk about this all day.
We could. How about you tell us your favorite girls moment?
Yes. Scene. And tell us which girl you think we are.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
There are wrong answers in that, by the way. But there are right ones, too.
Like, how dare you say I'm a Jessa? That's not true.
But finish Artist Way, and then I think maybe...
Cut. We're done. It's done.